Well, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. It has been a minute or two since I posted a live review or even a recorded review. I've been busy. Let me give you the scoop, and then I'm going to share the movie review for Waltzing with Brando, a new movie that comes out this weekend. But first, I apologize that I've been gone so long. I was out of town. Then I went out of the country. Then I moved out of state. Then I went out of the country again. And in the meantime, I've been writing a ton of books since my last review. I think I've launched 3 books that I'm super excited about. Anyway, I have a million other excuses, but I've been thinking about you, and I don't know if you even remember me. It seems like it's been that long. But thank you all so much for your support and for your kind comments. And keep those coming because they really do keep me going. But enough about me. Let's talk about Waltzing with Brando. By the way, this is my new home office. What do you think? I've got a screen over here where I'm going to be looking to see if people are posting comments. But we just built this floor to ceiling bookshelf, which I'm all obsessed with. As an author, I love to read, I love to write. And so I always wanted one of those, I call it a Beauty and the Beast library, with all of the books. And you could see I have a lot more room where I can put more books. So they'll be coming soon. Okay, back to Waltzing with Brando. So this is a biodrama comedy that releases in theaters on September 19th, 2025. It is rated R, and I'm going to give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. It's an hour and 44 minutes long. And before I tell you more about the movie, the sponsor of this movie review of sorts is actually the link to the book where you can find out more about the book that the movie was based on. You can buy it on Amazon. So if you're interested, click on that link. It'll be down in the description below. All right. So in a nutshell, this film is set in the stunning landscapes of the late 1960s Tahiti. Waltzing with Brando tells the charming, funny, and inspiring true story of silver screen icon and Academy Award winning actor Marlon Brando, portrayed beautifully by Billy Zane. I was impressed. He's paired with the progressive, sustainably minded Los Angeles based architect Bernard Judge, who's played by John Heater. Now, most people don't know that name so much, but they'll know who he is if you've seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite. So he's in this movie. And it's been a little while since I've seen him in anything. So they attempt to build the world's first sustainable paradise on the remote, uninhabitable island of Tahiti's let's see if I can say this correctly, Tetiaroa. Have you ever even heard of that? No, I had neither. With a stellar cast and unforgettable characters, the film is a celebration of audacious dreams, ecological innovation, and human resilience. Now, I've got this new webcam, and I'm trying to look at you in the webcam, but I'm also trying to read my notes. And so I don't know how that's going to look or how it looks to you all. I'm trying my best here to remember all the things that I wanted to say by reading my notes. But anyway, the film was written and directed by Bill Fishman. It was adapted for screen from the book Waltzing with Brando, Planning a Paradise in Tahiti by Bernard Judge. Bill Fishman and Billy Zane also helped produce the film. And I think that they are really proud of it. It felt like a passion project, especially for Billy Zane. And again, he is stellar in this. So, quick tips for parents. It is rated R because we see some topless women on the island. We see the naked backsides of both men and women. Kids are mostly going to be bored. I don't think this movie is entirely appropriate for kids for these reasons. There's also some profanity and F-bombs, lots and lots of alcohol, and a lot of French is spoken, as well as a native language on the island. Now, you'll be able to tell from what I just said, that's not a negative piece of content. It's simply a heads up for parents that this is really more of an adult movie. So let me share some quick themes for you that are illustrated in the film very well. Ambition, environmentalism, stewardship, the human spirit, business, friendship, trust, respect, resilience, and innovation. So here's the long list of things that I really liked about this film. First of all, the production of the film included actor Billy Zane's company, as I mentioned. He has the starring role of Marlon Brando and does an absolutely fantastic job. And I'm not going to be surprised if he's nominated as I know he's been around for a while, but it kind of still feels like he's an up and coming actor to me. Zane's physical metamorphosis into Brando is nothing short of uncanny, thanks to impeccable makeup and hairstyling. And the film may win awards for that alone. He embodies the star not just visually, but also in manner and magnetism, making multiple viewers do a double take, including me. I was like, wait, are they showing old footage from a film that Brando was in? No, it's Billy Zane. It's remarkable. The film is on the 97th Academy Awards short list of movies qualifying for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and it deserves to be there. When asked in an interview by Variety Magazine's Matt Donnelly how he tackled the task of representing the legendary actor, he stated, quote, early on, I figured the only way to approach this seemingly impossible or daunting task was to approach it as he would, which would be to not really give a bleep. And he says, I hate to say it, I could fill you with all sorts of actory explanations, but really that mindset served me immediately. End quote. I bleeped it out because I don't swear. Way back when Billy Zane appeared in the 1989 movie Dead Calm, people began calling him the next Marlon Brando. And I don't know if you remember that or if you were even alive during that, but clearly he took that compliment to heart. Whenever I think of actor John Heder, I think of the quirky classic Napoleon Dynamite, as I mentioned. And my family still quotes lines from that movie, even though it came out 21 years ago. Amazing. It's always really great to see Richard Dreyfuss in anything, honestly. I've been a huge fan of his my whole life. Other cast members include Tia Carrera, James Jagger, and I just saw Tia again in the movie True Lies. I love that movie. I've seen it a bazillion times. It came on TV and I was like, all right, gotta watch it again. Anyway, Elena Huffman, Camille Razat, and Rob Corddry. What makes this movie fun is that it is based on a true story. I learned a lot about Brando that I never knew before. The movie was filmed in several locations, Tahiti, Moorea, and Tetiaroa, where the real life events actually occurred. We learn and see a different side of Marlon Brando when Billy Zane spent quite a bit of time with Marlon Brando's real life family and people who worked with the actor, as part of his research. He discovered that Brando loved practical jokes. He was funny and was curious about many things. He was also one of the first activists in Hollywood, especially when it came to conservation and civil rights. I didn't know that. Some would even say he was the godfather of environmentalism, certainly in Hollywood. If younger generations don't really know Marlon Brando and who he was, they'll still be interested in watching a Hollywood icon work to protect our planet in such a loving, dedicated way. Billy Zane described the movie as a love letter to Tahiti, its people, and to Marlon Brando himself. And I thought that that was really sweet. In a nod to Marlon Brando's Tetiaroa, 5% of the film's proceeds are pledged to benefit the island's residents. I love that. You can learn more or make a donation to that effort at tetiaroasociety.org. And if you don't know how to spell it, you can go to my written review at moviereviewmom.com and click on that link there. I was surprised how much humor was in the film. The movie breaks the fourth wall over and over, which is kind of a fun and entertaining technique. And I actually really enjoy that technique. Almost in every movie that I've seen use it, it just always makes me laugh. Now, I recognize some people don't like that, but I thought it was fun. Cinematography by Garrett O'Brien delivers sumptuous recreation of iconic scenes from The Godfather and Last Tango in Paris. setting them alongside sun-drenched Tahitian landscapes. And so we flip-flop to the different parts of Brando's life, and I enjoyed that as well. It doesn't feel disjointed or scattered so much as it might have sounded when I just now said that, because you recognize you're trying to see a scope of this man's life. It's not the full biography by any means. It's a snippet in time. The contrast between Hollywood glamour and tropical escape is striking, and you can see why he was constantly trying to escape to the island life and get away from all of that Hollywood craziness. By the way, keep watching during the final rolling credits to see some lovely images of the island and its stunning nature. All right, now I always list things that I don't like about a movie, just to be fair and balanced, but I didn't come up with a whole lot of things. First of all, I said it's hard to know which bits are true or embellished. For example, Brando talks about powering his island with electric eels. He also tries to drink or extract drinkable water from his own urine. And so I want to know, does anybody know for sure if those things really happened? I've read accounts online that yes, that was true, and also know that that was an embellishment from Hollywood. And so I don't know what the truth is. And as a viewer, when you're watching the movie, you're like, did that really happen? I don't know. For some, the movie or the tone of the movie and its lightness can appear to undercut the dramatic potential of Brando's inner struggle and environmental pursuits. And so they might not like that. Oh, cough attack. So sorry. Now, if you've been following me for a long time, you know I usually record these and have somebody edit them for me. And so you don't have to watch me cough and drink water and all of that. But I wanted to get this out because the movie's coming out and I finally had some time to do today to be able to do this. Anyway, sorry about that. Back to the tone shift. Personally, I didn't mind it. I think that because Brando loved to joke around and pull practical pranks on people, I think that tone, the lightness, actually absolutely fit his personality. Oh, I got a cough again. I'm so sorry. Now, one thing I didn't like was the pink and red movie poster that originally the movie studio had given to me to use. And I thought, it didn't really capture the essence of the film at all. And so luckily when I posted my written review, the studio got back to me and said, can you change it? We've got a new poster. And I like the new poster much, much better. It's the yellow and blue one. I wonder if I can share my screen. I don't want to take the time to figure that out right now. But anyway, it's a much better movie poster, and that's the one that's being used predominantly right now. I think that a movie poster that highlighted the blues and greens from the islands would definitely illustrate the film's content and magic better. But I think that this yellow one is kind of cool because it shows you little pictures within the poster itself of some of the movies that Brando starred in. You will definitely recognize. All right, so I also like to write down funny lines and interesting lines while I watch movies. And so one of the funny lines that I wrote was when John Hitter gets to the island. He plays Bernard Judge, and he doesn't even quite know what to expect, but he gets there and there's just like naked people running around, and Brando strips and jumps into the ocean, and Brando's like, come on, swim, take off your clothes, and he's like, oh, everybody's naked. And that happens multiple times in the movie. And like I said, you don't see full on frontal nudity, but you see everybody playing in the water, rear end, full backside naked, and, that kind of stuff. But you also capture that feeling of freedom that Brando must have felt leaving Hollywood and just living a carefree Tahitian or tropical island life. And then there were some interesting lines that I wrote down. So first of all, Marlon Brando, again, played beautifully by Billy Zane, says, I've come to realize that I'm not worthy of all the attention directed to me by the public. And that's kind of refreshing to hear an Academy Award winning A-list celebrities say something like that, because oftentimes I think that fame and fortune gets to some of their heads and they think that they are superior to all humanity. You know what I mean? So I liked that. And then another thing that he says as he's talking to his attorney buddy who's in on this project with him, he says, Bernie, your family's the most important project you will ever oversee. And I thought, there we go. There's somebody with a good sense of perspective and priorities in his life. And you do get that. I mean, he in the movie, he is certainly playing and fooling around and all of that, but he recognizes that family is first, and he respects that when he sees other people doing that. Anyway, all right. So is a list of 3 biopic movies like this that I think that you might also really like. So these are some recommendations. I like to give you recommendations in case you've seen these other movies and you're like, okay, this one might be like that. I think I will like it. Now they're different. They're about different people. Obviously, the first one is called Chaplin, and we all have seen bits and clips from Charlie Chaplin movies, but we don't know that much about him in real life. And so that's a biopic that I found interesting. Another one is Francis. And by the way, you can see links to all of these also on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. And then the last one I wanted to recommend was Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Now, there have been a million biopics. I could have listed a bunch, but those were ones that just came to my mind as I was watching this one. All right, that is it. Oh, let me look over here. Oh, my goodness, I've got comments. Yay, thanks. So let's see. Shadower, thanks for joining. Shadower says, I would like you to review a TV show. Sure, I mean, movies is kind of my thing, but I watch a lot of TV shows as well. So what would you like to see me review? Shadower says, I would love to know your opinion on it. Granted, it's old. Okay, which one are you thinking? If you're still there, type it in the chat box. And if you've already left, type it in the comments below and I'll see it when this video gets officially published after it goes live. You know what I mean? Right now, my husband and I are a little bit obsessed with BritBox TV shows. And we watched one called Ludwig, kind of a murder mystery comedy. Fantastic. It's a short series and we loved it. I don't know if they're going to make a second season. And then right now we started another one called Death Valley, and it takes place in Wales. And we've been to Wales, and it is hilarious. It's also murder, mystery, comedy, and it's hilarious because half the time we can't even understand what they're saying. We have subtitles on, but in Wales, they have funny expressions and they say funny words, and we're like, what the heck does that mean? When we were in Wales, we were reading signs, of course, everywhere we went, and there was a train station, and I swear it was the longest I don't swear, but you know what I mean. There was this long horizontal sign that went forever, and it was the name of this train station or the city where we were. I've never seen a sign that long to fit all of the letters on that name. It was crazy. All right. Nope. Okay. I don't see another comment. So maybe Shadower left us. But yeah, if you want me to review something, I am happy to. And by the way, quick shout out to FanX. I've moved to Utah and I'm going to be a guest speaker on a panel what day? Next Thursday? Next Thursday in Salt Lake City. FanX is kind of like Comic-Con. And I'm going to be speaking on a panel about Wicked, the movie, the book, the musical, I should say the movies, plural. Anyway, so join me. I would love to meet you in person. If you're there, hunt me down. All right. I don't want this to be a gigantic long video. So, hold on. We got a message from Shadower. Shadower says it's a TV show called Death Note. Wow. Never heard of it. I will check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. I hope it's good. Now, I don't love watching crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's a crazy show, but the word death has me a little concerned. I mean, here I just talked about 2 murder mysteries, but they were comedies. And the other thing about both of those BritBox TV shows, the series, they're clean. There's no blatant blood and gore and F-bombs. I hate that. And so that's another reason why I recommend those two if you like that genre. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much for watching and for joining me. And hopefully, I'll be back sooner than the months long absence. Thank you again for hanging in there with me. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.